He just needs to be consistent in doing biathlon well, not try to be the best in the world.
Yes, and just building on his success, his podium. Well, Phil Maillet has picked the pace up as he's worked his way around the track ever so slightly.
Но ничего. Так, что за задержки? Подождите, ребят. Секунду. Что-то все зависло у нас сейчас. Ждите.
Third place for now, unlikely to stay on the podium. And he'll be disappointed again, missing one target. Doesn't quite have the ski speed as he showed last season.
No, and we'll start over a minute behind the first in the pursuit tomorrow.
Yes, so important to get yourself up into that top 10 when you're called Phil Maillet for the pursuit tomorrow. Samuelsson at the moment is leading, but that will change with Ligrade working his way up. We should see Ligrade at the top of the climb, the steep climb soon. Well, Hedin Salo coming in now. From Joensuu, which is the town closest to this venue, about 9 kilometers up the road.
Yeah, he knows this range very well. He's getting the cheers from the crowd, which can help and can hinder.
Yeah, very much when there's such few numbers in the stand, Ian. They haven't really been cheering, of course, anyone else other than their own, which is fine. It certainly didn't put Hedin Salo off. 26, David Zubel coming out too.
Yeah, one penalty loop, which means Hedin Salo will probably not see him on this last loop.
Here's Ligrade. Well, it was 31. He's dropped to 23 seconds behind.
He has. He looks heavy there. I mean, everyone looks heavy at the top of that hill, but...
remember the feeling racing up that hill. It's absolute torture. Johannes Kuhn missing 2 targets. The ski speed is still very, very strong. And that's okay. That'll be a decent start tomorrow in the pursuit.
Just ahead of Phil Maillet. He'll be pleased about that.
And yes, knocking Phil Maillet off the podium. So second race of the season and no podiums yet for Phil Maillet, who was so clearly ahead of the rest last year, so far ahead in many of the races. Ligrade, well, he changed his rifle again this summer. He did last summer, but it worked well today. No penalties. And just fading, isn't he? The last 1.52 kilometers in this race, he's just died off in terms of his aggressive skiing.
Yeah, it's obviously it's still early in the season, so he's still trying to find that perfect pitch to race out on the track. And it looks like he's obviously paced it well. He's going to go into the lead, and he may well win, but he's certainly slowed down at the end here.
He has, and as you can see there, Ponchiloma coming across the line. Ponchiloma missing 2 targets, 104 behind Ligrade's winning time. Now, it's not Phil Maillet's day, and I was about to say, could it be Fabien Claude's day, but no. Claude missing 1 out of 5 standing.
Yeah, he's going to finish probably a minute again, another Frenchman over a minute behind Ligrade.
Now Jacquelin coming in, so another Frenchman, another chance.
Yeah, great character, Jacquelin. We love him. He's an interesting athlete to watch.
And he's a showman, isn't he?
He is.
What he did last year in Annecy, Le Grand Bonnand, hopefully we'll see that magic again this year.
Is it okay to call him Jack the Lad? I think that fits his character.
That'll do.
He's a bit of a Jack the Lad, Jacquelin.
That'll do. Normally fast, normally aggressive. 13.5 to the first shot.
Jacqueline.
Good rhythm.
Sticking to that fast aggressive
Oh,
normality.
took a chance there at the end. A little bit quicker on the last shot, and usually that doesn't pay off, but it did today.
Here he is, Johannes Tingesbø.
Johannes.
Can he spoil the party? Ligrid's party. I think he can.
Come on.
So yes, Johannes Tingesbø into the first shoot. Incredible ski time into the first shoot. Johannes Tingesbø was 6.2 ahead of Samuelsson.
How does he do it, Mike? He always looks so relaxed, so easy, powerful, beautiful technician. Very relaxed, he's got great balance. He's kept his head down for the last week or so. You know, we're not seen much of him, and he hasn't performed brilliantly, but he's, in a way that can help, just to stay out of the limelight.
I think so. Christensen, he's almost on the same ski speed as Samuelsson was, but missing 2 targets. Didn't expect that today.
Taking into account his 2 loops, 55 seconds off the pace, on a par with Ligrid.
Уже финиширует, то есть.
It's okay. It's an okay. The positives there. It's an okay start tomorrow. That's where he starts tomorrow, behind the league time. At the moment, it's Ligrid.
Jesper Nellen будет проигрывать.
Very happy for Jesper Nellen. We saw him miss in the pro, and he cleared a stand. So, 4th place.
Пока 3-е место.
So, Nellen, I'm very impressed with that attack over the last 3.3. That's one of the fastest times on the final lap. Good indicator for early top form.
Sean Doherty looking very relaxed coming in. As I say, they've taken out this little hill. He skied along the flat. There used to be just a little rise to the left along where the flags are, and that just added a little bit of pressure. You couldn't ease off so well coming into the range.
And you can see Sean Doherty very much closing down, getting his heartbeat lowered, getting his breathing under control.
It's in no rush, calm.
Sean
You
Doherty
can see he's an athlete that
на стреле.
thinks a great deal as he comes in to shoot. Mental preparation.
Yeah, good process. He's really working that mind to focus in on his discipline.
Ooh.
And misses the last shot. So 1-1. Won't be happy with that, Doherty. The most medalled junior athlete, winning 10 medals as a youth and junior category. Quite outstanding.
Всем привет, кто зашел?
Yeah, hard to maintain that unless you're a Norwegian.
So we're just picking up on the race here.
12:80.
Johannes Tingesbø moving 12 seconds ahead as he left the range. So Tero Seppala.
Good.
Excellent. Not going to match Johannes Tingesbø's time. But that's competitive. That sets him up well. Same again in stand shooting. And the fans may even get excited. They don't show much emotion here in Finland, but I'm sure we'll see them dancing around in the stands.
Philip Anderson.
Interesting, yeah, Philip Fjeld Anderson just staring the targets down.
Good rhythm. Slightly longer, but it paid off.
I like that process. 29.4. Yep, he's lost himself 4 or 5 seconds in terms of the process in the range, but he's gained himself by hitting all 5. Psychologically, that feels so good.
Yeah, you see there's discipline here. You know, some athletes, they're erratic and exciting. They're sort of McEnroe players, and they, you know, and it doesn't pay off. Occasionally they'll have a wonderful result, but the best biathletes are the ones who just have a game plan and they stick to it and they work it and work it and work it, and then eventually it comes good.
It does. It comes good. Well, not as good as it was on the day one for David Zobel. Take away that penalty, though, Ian, and he'd be around about Samuelson's time today. But no podium today for Zobel. And very, very much a surprise in the 20-kilometre when he finished in third place. He's in agony.
Desperately trying to get those skis off so he can relax those quads.
I would imagine the way that it feels, isn't it, when you cross that line, it's almost like what you can imagine drowning feels like. You just can't get enough oxygen.
Look at Tarja Boher, tiny little jump.
Johannes.
This hill is so steep.
Tarja, yes, I beg your pardon. It's Cloud going through there at 102 to the disadvantage. And here is Johannes, as you mentioned.
Here he is. Look at that lovely glide. Same old technique. There are many athletes you can recognize them by their technique. Johannes Tingesbo is one of them. His brother says he doesn't know how he'd do it. In the summer on roller skis, they're on a par, and then once he gets on snow, Johannes Tingesbo seems to have this edge. It's almost like he interacts with the snow better than any other athlete out there.
He has a real connect. I saw him when he was 17-year-old at European Youth Olympics, and I remember asking the Norwegian coach, what's the score with this guy? He said, phenomenal. This man is something special, and he really has been all the way through his career. And do you know what I think he's doing? He's 17 seconds advantage now. I think he's trying to buy himself the potential for one. Well, he's just racing his own race, but he may well have the luxury of a 20-second advantage into the range.
Yeah, he'll be thinking about that first shoot tomorrow. If he can get the last shot away before Lygrid, whoever else it is just behind him, touches the firing point, then the pressure's on the chasing athlete, not the athlete being chased.
Very much Fabien Claude, 106 behind, only one penalty. Now Johannes Tingesbo will be coming into the range very, very soon. Emilien Jacquelin, ski speed is excellent, let's be honest. He's missed one target and just sub 30 seconds behind.
Yeah, be disappointed with that one miss, but probably encouraged by his result today.
I think so. It's always a bit of a pathfinder, the first sprint. Well, that's wonderful performance from Roman Rees. And this will be a podium challenge. Johannes Tingesbo, 20 seconds advantage.
I was about to say 10 seconds to win the race.
Needs this one.
And maybe. Who knows?
I think so. I think so. The way he's skiing in, and he bought himself that 20 seconds. Yes, he'll find himself 5 seconds behind, 6 seconds behind.
Look at that. Yeah, he's got to do that thing, though, Mike. He's got to do that thing that he often does. And has he got it yet this early on in the season? We'll see.
I think so. His last year, the year before, he'd lost that magic that he has on his skis, but he's worked on it so much this summer. And I think most of it's back.
There you go.
Look at that time round the penalty loop. That, for me, is 21 seconds round the penalty loop to win a 2.8 advantage.
Well. So now he's thinking, okay, how much can I add to that? And remember, Lygrid definitely slowed down on his last loop. He got tired in the last 1.5 kilometers.
He certainly did, and good skiing from Jacquelin. And what about last year, Olympic year last year? He really fell off his bike, smashed his wrist. They had to put bolts in it. Jacquelin last year, he had the best physios, he said, working on him. And yeah, we didn't see great magic prior to the Olympics. Well, we did in Annecy, of course we did. And it was a very tough season for him with that injury.
Yeah, frustrating, but sometimes those things can just take the pressure off in a way.
Yeah, that's what I thought, and we did see good performances. The relay, of course, at the Olympics, taking that silver medal. But at the moment, after the second shoot, the all-important second shoot, Ligrid will be feeling the Johannes Tingesbø breathing on him. Ligrid was plus 2.8 seconds as Johannes Tingesbø left the range. Seppala. And Campbell Wright. Lovely to see Campbell Wright. Got a message from Tim David at the snow farm over in New Zealand, just updating me on Campbell now is with the American team. There's no finance there, no backup from New Zealand. Tim Burke coaching him, and the American team's looking after him. Look at this time. It's quite incredible, 20-year-old.
Look, he's smiling. It's a good thing to do. You smile and it puts a positive attitude in your head. Oh, that was very quick. 10 seconds to the first shot, Mike.
What a star. Excellent.
Well,
excellent.
Very rapid getting that rifle on the back.
It is delighted with what he's doing on the tracks in Finland. And I'll tell you what, it's a late night right now in New Zealand, but they are watching this. And Jason Sklenar is working very hard on developing a young team there, a team for the Youth Olympics and the European Youth Olympics.
That's brilliant. Great news. Great to hear that Jason's still continuing with putting something back into the sport and biathlon that he got so much out of.
Absolutely, Johannes Tingesbø. It was an advantage of 2.8. Well, it's only 3.7. And remember, he's been round the penalty loop. Ligrid hadn't.
Yeah, but he's sparky. He's still dancing. There's just that little bit of skip in his technique, and if he maintains that up the last big wall, I think we'll probably see that deficit increase a little.
I think. Well, look at. Love watching the left-handers or left-eyed athletes. You get a chance to see the rifle hold, but sadly, Seppala. The crowd. Blame the crowd.
It doesn't help when you hear the crowd moan.
Anderson, fourth place into the range, 26.9 behind. And remember, he has shot clear, but a slow clear. He was 30 seconds to get the 5 shots down in the prone shooting.
20 seconds to the first shot is way below average these days, but... Oh!
Yeah. It's been quite a strange day for me, Ian, on the range. I thought we'd see 12 to 15, maybe more perfect 0-0s today, but so many missing 1 and 2.
Yeah, I don't know why it doesn't seem to have been one of those days. All the conditions suggest to us that you would have maybe 10, 15 0-0s today, but we haven't had that, I don't think.
Not quite that many. We'll tally it up shortly. Philip Fjeld, going for the slow shooting option, both times taking around 30 seconds, and many more are increasing the risk with their 25, 26-second routine.
Yeah, I think this early on in the season, particularly, it's always encouraging to see the young athletes who take their time and do it well and don't snap out of their predetermined range procedure, taking chances and maybe being a little bit erratic, because eventually that does pay off.
It does, and I think if you train and build the control, it stays with you. You hold on to that secure discipline. So great excitement up the final climb, less than a kilometre to go there.
He's in traffic. He's got a little bit of a gap ahead of him. So, yeah, look, I mean, he's sparking up this hill, still punching.
Yep. He's got a bit of a traffic jam.
Yep.
He's requested some space.
There we go.
Whoa, look at the time.
Yeah.
From 3.8 to 10 seconds, most of it on this climb. And That is Roman Rees. In fact, Roman Rees has to try and stay with Johannes. Sorry, there is Rees there, 48. This is, I think, looking good for a potential podium. And of course, indicating again, Ian, that the German team with the World Championships coming there in February, Roman Rees looks very much like this could be, well, second place for now. We know that Johannes Tingesbo is about to come in, so that'll be a third. It may well stay third for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I watched Roman Rees during the zero time. He looked like he was just focused, quiet, almost prowling around the range with an intention to do something today. And I think the pressure is so on the Germans right now. They've had decades of success, and it's just tipped off a little bit in recent years. But this is usually the reason why these Norwegians...
Yeah, indeed, Johannes Tingesbo, 10 seconds. He had it to 13, so dropped off a little to the line. I am so happy for Johannes Tingesbo. Last year, the journey was tough for him. He's looking so much better this year. Well, so Johannes Tingesbo exhausted. He took one victory last year in the sprint competitions and a third place. He's kicked off this season with a win. Potentially, race isn't over yet. But there aren't many that could match him today. Philip Norath. First time in, he's a late starter. Well, Ian, it's Mark Kirchner there. Would have hoped that was 5, and I think his ski time could challenge for a podium place today, but that's him opted out now with that shot missed.
Yeah, it's unlikely he's going to close that gap.
Sorry, Norath just composing himself.
У меня звук не на полную стоял. Сейчас слышно.
And to see that New Zealand flag there is quite incredible. Campbell Wright, 20-year-old, and at the finish, sorry, after the second shoot, sorry, he was in 10th position.
Johannes.
Yep, looks happy.
Что за шипение?
Very much a homeboy. He's done so much traveling with biathlon.
Наверное, слишком громко
Wants to be home with
включено.
the wife and family. So, Emilian Claude, 19.3 to the first shot, not rapid.
Nice follow through after every shot.
Подождите.
Discipline, good. Even now, not in a rush.
Yeah, calm. Have a look at the wind though. That really has
picked up.
Especially these lanes here. You get this wind coming in, this opening. Lanes 1 to 9, you can see 10, 11, 12. They're much less affected by this wind.
Yeah, if there is anyone later on, if that wind is picking up, as you say, it comes across the lake, over the hills. That's why they keep all those trees there to try and reduce that. Johannes Daly, there was a time when he could have been a threat, and maybe he still is. We'll see.
Yes, if he gets all 10, he could still be a threat. Well, that's the strong wind from the right-hand side, makes the fall of the shot go left. He missed to the left. That's a pity.
Yeah.
Yes, Johannes Daly not opted for Group 4, Ian, but it was put into Group 4.
Да, наверное, кто-то мне посоветовал. Всякую фигню. Больше совета я слушать вообще не буду ничьи. Сама буду все делать. Как бы... Не надо мне ваших советов.
Yeah, hey, I think the New Zealanders are a bit like the Brits, understated. Yeah, that's
Почему
quite
масштабирование
difficult.
нельзя включить?
But he was smiling most of the time, which is what we want to see.
And actually, he didn't look stressed really when he crossed the line.
No, no. On a scale of facing the snow, throwing up, to smiling and high-fiving, he was up at the smiling and high-fiving end, really.
Well, my graphics, I apologize, were confusing me. One indicated a 0, but of course he missed one target and finds himself 1:32 behind. He'll start in tomorrow's pursuit competition.
Yeah, for someone so new to the sport and so young, simply making the pursuit in a field like this is a huge achievement. Great experience. 4 shoots, it's a different kind of race. It'll really help with the development of his technique.
Very much. Philip Fjeld Anderson coming in, missing one target, 49.7 behind. That's okay, 6th place. And when you're a Norwegian, and yes, starting 7 athletes today, Bjørntegard coming in for his overall win in the IBU Cup. You have to really keep placing in the top 50, don't you? Or you could well be left out.
So tough, isn't it? To be, you know, a team like Norway, if you're out of the top 20, then you're possibly even out of the team.
Yeah, it's tough. So we'll hear the cheering from the spectators.
Так, ну-ка, переделаю сейчас.
As Heikki Leitinen. It's a good time into the range for his first time. Now then, what can he do?
Короче, потом буду разбираться, что за белый экран, что за бред.
And you know, if you're a Finnish biathlete, of course, there's only one venue where you're going to get the cheering, and when they're not used to it, you know, 1 out of 9 World Cups, it can get inside your head, can't it?
Yeah, and I mean, some people love the cheering, some people hate it when you're trying to shoot, because it just is so difficult to stay focused on the target. But after several World Cups during the COVID time where there was nothing going on, we're just glad to have some voices. Hey,
I forgot. You soon forget, don't you? Those races with no spectators, no background noise. Hey, wait till we get to Oppilsen next week. There'll be plenty of noise. Oscar Brandt coming in with a super ski time. The wind has died down now, so the coaches, I think, would have informed him, right, don't take lane 1 to 7. It's windy there, but the wind has dropped off.
Yeah, no excuses now. Any misses and it's poor shooting.
So very much opting for the slow routine, 3 seconds or thereabouts between shots. 19 seconds to the first shot. Lovely.
Yep. Uses a blind over both eyes, so he can't see anything apart from what the right eye is seeing. Different opinions about that. I personally think you need to allow some light into the left eye, because the right eye tries to close. And it affects how you see. But, I mean, everyone tries these things, and I noticed that his blind on his left eye was so taped up. He obviously likes it because it's broken a number of times, and he got some surgical tape and repaired it over and over again because he wants it the same every time.
So Philip Norath there.
Все, наконец-таки разобралась.
Coming up this section of the course, so
Аллилуйя.
Performance top 20.
That'd be very interesting if there was some way. I mean, sometimes we can see the heart rates, but if you could see the lactic levels in their legs, it would be exciting to watch, wouldn't it?
That would be. So Mikulas Karlik showing his strength as a junior.
Карлик
In the
сейчас будет стрелять.
junior competitions. Could this be his season? Being such a late starter, we'd feel that he's not the most favored by the coaches for the best group advantage in groups 1 or group 2, but it's looking pretty good.
Промах первым же выстрелом.
Until that moment. Well, it seems like he after missing that shot, he just went for a much faster routine, and of course the last four went down.
Yeah, and they're pretty disciplined, the Czechs. You know, their range procedures pretty standard. You see everyone doing more or less the same thing, and that's good. Like the Ukrainians, it pays off.
Yes, the Ukrainian team often showing us the best stats as a team. A little bit, of course.
Филипп Наврат на стойке.
Philip Norath.
Here you see Naurath not using any blinds. Both eyes open, I think.
Промах.
Yeah, 20th place into the range. She's not shooting fast. So he'll drop down now probably to what, 35, 37, maybe more.
Yeah.
The price of missing.
Emilian
Only one
Claude.
athlete in the whole field today who could afford one target missed and still win. He's back. Johannes Tingesbø. Race isn't over, but it's
Уже будут
very,
проигрывать.
very unlikely that any of the names
Даже
and
стрелять
times
еще не
that we're
начали.
seeing to this point can challenge him.
No, and you mentioned earlier about Johannes being a home bird, and I think the stage in his career that he's at now, he's had such massive success that even if he stopped now, he would still be one of the greats, but he's not going to stop. But in order to continue, he's got to come up with a plan that gives him some life with family. So building that now is a good thing if he's going to keep going all the way to the next Olympics.
And I think that the coaching staff are well aware as Emilian Claude comes in. I don't know what's happened to him today, but his ski speed was very good in the first race. It really has dropped away here today. Okay, 10 out of 10, lovely.
Maybe that's why he's eased off, Mike. Maybe he's just decided I'm just gonna take the edge off a little and work on having a clear shoot today.
Possibly, well, on the French team, for me, there's just a tie. You know, where's the spark? Where's the urgency? We did see it in Jacqueline.
Yeah, you see dropping his head and mouth wide open. That suggests, even now, after let's call it a mini break, 30 seconds, even now, he's already tired, and he is not gonna fly around this last loop.
Incredible. I'm really surprised. That's a very tired athlete, exhausted, going onto his last lap. Johannes Daly.
Very solid position.
Johannes Daly.
Stocky guy.
Один промах за две стрельбы.
The best stand shooters should be short, fat with big feet. And I don't know about the big feet and fat, but short sometimes helps. And Johannes Daly there looked very solid. Looked like he was going to hit every target.
Yes, and after his year last year, he was sadly sent back to the IBU Cup, and he missed the Olympics, having had a wonderful season the year before. And I was so impressed with his attitude, the way that he was sending messages to the team.
Yeah.
He wasn't bitter, he just didn't have any form. He couldn't do anything about it. Well, there we are, confirmation at the moment. It's not over yet, but Johannes Tingesbø ahead of Sturla Holm Lygrid. They had such a battle together 2 years ago. Could it be another one of those seasons? Again, a German athlete on the podium in third place at the moment, Roman Rees. Christensen skiing very well, missing 2 targets. Benny Dahl, 2 targets. Johannes Kuhn, all 3 skiing fast, Ian, but punishing themselves on the range.
Yeah, when you get people like Christensen missing 2, Fiormaillet missed how many?
Fiormaillet, he missed 1.
Missed 1, right.
What a day again for Johannes.
Johannes готовится к победе.
Well, great to see, well, not see him fatigue Johannes Tingesbø, but see him in first position again. Do you remember, was it 2018-19? when Johannes Tingesbø won, 219-220, when he won 16 races in that season. He's got the ski speed back in to do just that. The shooting seems to have improved. Is that ever achievable again? I'm not sure it will be, but he's looking to me like he's back in that space.
Ну все, наверное, тут ничего не изменится. Можно дальше не смотреть. Йоханнес на первом, Лагрейд второе. На третьем месте получается Роман Рейс.